Tire for other great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Sweet, flaky, and utterly delicious. That's the famous Kringle from O&H Danish Bakery. Guaranteed to get you on the nice list, O&H Danish Bakery can deliver that heavenly goodness right to your doorstep. Now that's a memorable gift where you know you've nailed it. And it arrives fresh in just 2 business days, anywhere within the country. Order online today, ohndanishbakery.com, or come on in to O&H Danish Bakery in Racine, Oak Creek, or Sturnivan and taste the difference of bakery made from scratch.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. Now that we're into the holiday season, it's time to celebrate with new lights and ceiling fans. And our huge award-winning showroom displays hundreds of the best quality lights and fans. There's not a brand we can't get, and our prices are the lowest, even lower than online. I guarantee it. And our knowledgeable staff is always here to assist you in making the right choices. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including antiques, collectibles, fun for the kids, and our famous free popcorn. We are open Monday through Saturday and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
This holiday season, the Salvation Army needs your help. Bell ringers are working hard, and our service depends on generous donations like yours. Every dollar donated helps us provide meals, shelter, and emergency support to families in crisis, not just at Christmas, but all year long. From immediate need to long-term care, your donation can create lasting change in our communities. Join us in making a difference. Volunteer as a bell ringer or donate today. Visit salvationarmywi.org to learn how you can help.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Warning, these rockets are in restricted airspace. Time to get our anti-air defense team.
From Giannis on the help side, defense blocks his 4th shot of the night. Now he is off and running. He will lay it in off the window with a foul.
Our Bucks Rockets coverage starts tonight at 6 with Buck Shoot Around on your home of the Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It is 1 o'clock and 53 degrees in Milwaukee. Light rain in many areas right now. Tonight, on and off rain, mild, windy, low of 52. Wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Tomorrow, rain in the morning, breezy, mild otherwise. High of 60. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Jessica Ty. Eric Hovde concedes the race for U.S. Senate.
Hovde held a slim lead over Senator Tammy Baldwin on election night. But after the absentee ballots in Milwaukee were finally counted, the race was called for the incumbent, winning by just less than 1%.
I've decided to concede the election.
Hovde questioned those absentee ballots, but announced on X today that he would not be calling for a recount.
A recount would serve no purpose because you will just be recounting the same ballots regardless of their integrity.
Had he asked for one, state law would have required Hovde to pay for it. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Should Wisconsin's top elections official keep her job? Attorneys for both sides made their case before the Wisconsin Supreme Court today on whether Elections Administrator Megan Wolf should remain. Misha Salin argued for Senate Republicans who want Wolf removed.
3 commissioners have decided that they will not send any administrative appointment to the Senate for as long as they wish.
Charlotte Gibson represents the Elections Commission.
This is an intense, full-time job requiring expertise and experience, and it just doesn't work if there are frequent changes in personnel and sudden vacancies.
Wolf was first appointed to the nonpartisan position in 2018. Spirit Airlines is the first U.S. airline to file for bankruptcy in more than a decade. CBS's Jason Brooks.
Spirit Airlines has filed for bankruptcy protection, as has been expected following its failed merger attempt with JetBlue, and former suitor Frontier saying last week it wasn't interested in its struggling rival. Spirit's operations will continue as normal during bankruptcy proceedings, having already received financial commitments from current bondholders in a pre-arranged debt restructuring agreement. Spirit will be delisted from the New York Stock Exchange.
Spirit is one of 9 airlines at Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. I reached out to the airport this morning. The Director of Public Affairs tells us Spirit's bankruptcy filing will have no impact on Milwaukee at this time because the discount carrier will continue operations throughout the bankruptcy process. Bottom line, at this point, you can still book flights. You can still fly Spirit. It is Winter Weather Awareness Week. A network of sensors called WiscoNet is ready to measure whatever Mother Nature brings the Badger State.
It's a nearly 2-dozen-in-1 measurement device, from wind speed and solar radiation to soil temperature.
We collect about 22 different measurements every 5 minutes from each station.
Chris Vigaski manages the Wisconsin Environmental Mesonet, or WiscoNet. He tells WTMJ the data helps researchers and farmers, and by next summer, there will be over 80 stations across the state.
We want to really get everybody in Wisconsin within about 20 miles of a weather station.
Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
He's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone in a time of need.
Cake is coming to Summerfest. The band will headline the BMO Pavilion on Friday, June 27th. Tickets for reserve seating go on sale on Friday. That's bringing me back. Time for some news about your money in the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A little bit of a mixed bag on Wall Street right now. The Dow is down 43 points, but look at this. We're still at 43,401. S&P 500 is up nearly 25 points to 5,895. And the NASDAQ is up 119 points to 18,798. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sonic Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 106.
Diamonds Direct's biggest and most spectacular sale of the year is starting now. For the first time, it's bigger than ever. Take 20% off virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, everything to make this holiday sparkle. This weekend, we're decking the halls with an expanded selection and top designers' appearances in the store. 20% off now through Sunday. Plus, book an appointment and get an additional $100 off. Open all weekend. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct. Get details at diamondsdirect.com.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this fall? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from Three Pillars resident Lola.
I had seen a lot of retirement places. In a minute, I drove into the driveway coming into Three Pillars. I was sold. The grounds are just beautiful. The management are just incredibly kind people. That mood permeates the atmosphere to me, whether it's the staff, the people that serve it in the restaurant, and the residents themselves. It's just a lot of caring, kind people.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
Finding the special healthcare resources families need just got easier. Wisconsin Wayfinder Children's Resource Network helps kids with delays, disabilities, special healthcare needs, and mental health conditions. Call toll-free 877-947-2929. Ask questions. Get answers. Connect today toll-free 877-947-2929. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Here's your WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Matt LaFleur's Packers are 7-3 after Sunday's 20-19 win over the Bears.
It was a roller coaster game, but that's this league. And you have to be resilient. Not everything's always going to go your way, and you got to keep battling.
That ending was just crazy. Despite the record, the Packers remain in third place in the NFC North, behind the Lions and the Vikings. 49ers visit Lambeau in Week 12. And the Milwaukee Bucks are back on the home floor tonight against the Rockets. Damian Lillard is expected to play after missing the last 3 games. He was in the NBA's concussion protocol. Coverage of tonight's game begins after the 6 o'clock news. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We're looking a lot better now. We had kind of a nasty crash in Racine County and another one in Milwaukee County by Mayfair, but those have both cleared. No big crashes being reported at the moment. No disabled vehicles impacting the system either.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today, rain. Some of you are seeing it right now. Light rain definitely out there. Tonight, on and off rain, mild and windy, low of 52. Wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour. Tomorrow, we'll see rain in the morning hours, breezy and mild otherwise. High of 60 tomorrow. Wednesday, slight rain mix. Yes, mix. It's coming into our forecast these days. Cooler and breezy on Wednesday, high of 46. Thursday, another chance for a rain mix. Breezy, high of 43. Friday, mostly cloudy and breezy, high of 44. It is currently 52 degrees in Racine, 50 in Waukesha, and 53 in Milwaukee. All of those cities right now seeing a little bit of light rain. I'm Jessica Ty. Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:10.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. This is Spanning the State, and here are your hosts, Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Good afternoon. All right, so I have to start here. because we started last Friday talking about the pending Packers and Bears game.
Yes.
And I asked you, and you said you were bracing for a loss.
Of course.
And I had to miss the first half of the game, but I went to my father-in-law's house with Mike and the family, so I got the fourth quarter, and I was sitting there near the end.
Sure.
Especially when they came back and they were on their third down with 19 yards to go, and I go, all right, we got this. And then they had that drive.
Beautiful
and
drive.
Then I was fully prepared to start this show to eat my words, Brian, and let you gloat.
I knew you weren't going to have to. That's why I didn't talk too much Friday.
And then the Bears were the Bears.
The Bears were the Bears. Eberflus was Eberflus. Instead of trying to get now, I don't want to get too deep in the X's and O's here, but for under 40 yards, Cairo Santos is 100% since 2020.
He's a good kicker.
He's a very good kicker. Out anything over 40, he drops down to 76%. Still good, but you have a down. You could have, Matt Eberflus had no clock management. He could have tried to get a couple more yards, bring that percentage for the field goal up. The one knock on Cairo Santos, very low trajectory on his field goals. And the Packers stole the Bears' glory. Now, it's interesting. I'm hearing a lot of Packers fans upstairs saying, well, the Packers didn't deserve it. Well, they won, so
I know,
they
a win is a
deserve
win.
it.
A win is a win, but I will say it was one of those things where it felt like a dirty win. You're like, oh, man, we did not deserve to win this game. And the fact that it was even this close does not feel great.
I couldn't believe it. Well, I expected the Packers to just roll over the Bears.
Yeah.
But, new offensive coordinator, maybe they were trying to prove something. They held and maybe the Packers felt that too. They thought they were just going to come in and roll over.
The Bears have good defense.
Yeah, the Bears have a great defense. And so it was, the game was exciting. I liked that part about it. And it was so close. It's right so there. Close. It was just within seconds away.
But there was something so pure. I showed you this video of a dad, a Bears fan dad, filming his son because it looked like the Bears were going to win. So I'm sure he was filming his 8-year-old.
Yeah, this kid was young.
Thinking that he'd get to capture his son celebrating beating the Packers for the first time in 11 games. And then the pure devastation on this little boy's face when he realizes that they have not won, they have lost, and just sobs.
Sobbing like your dog died.
Like
this kid
my mom heart just breaks for that kid, even though I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long road for you, buddy.
Well, the only saving grace is I wasn't talking a lot of smack on Friday about how the Bears were going to come in and do it. I was like, no, I predicted that the outcome would be the outcome.
And the outcome was the outcome. All right. Well,
all right.
What do we have coming up today,
I don't know.
Brian?
Let's move on to something a little more pleasant.
All right. So on Friday, we were supposed to talk to Representative Grothman about his UAP hearing last week, and some of the takeaways from that. So it sounds like we're going to get him today.
Yes, he is. I think Rhea is speaking with him right now, so we're going to do that. Then we're going to talk about the priorities that the Wisconsin legislature is putting forward for their next session, which will be good. We'll spin the state. We're going to talk about the Supreme Court is hearing an argument on whether the state's election chief should stay the election chief or not, or if she has to go. And then, we've heard a lot about mass deportation and the end of DACA and all that throughout the presidential campaign. We're going to talk to Sophie Carson from the Journal Sentinel, who writes about immigration, and we're going to find out how, if this program does come to pass, how would it affect Wisconsin?
Yep.
So we got a lot to get to.
Big show. Big show. All right. Well, on the other side of this, we will be talking to Representative Grothman. Stay with us.
Think you're smarter than the people you hear on the radio? Well, time to prove it with our Trivia Showdown. Brought to you by Quizmaster. Go head-to-head with WTMJ personalities in trivia competition. Check WTMJ.com or text trivia to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620 for a list of dates and locations of our next Trivia Showdown. Benefiting Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive. Only here on WTMJ.
If you're seeking Lake Country's finest, don't miss out on the Westerly, opening this spring.
It's close to shopping, easy access to Highway 94. I've never tried a golf simulator, so for sure I'll try that. I'm looking forward to some classes in the pool. Heated. When I'm ready for assisted living, I don't have to leave my apartment. They will take care of me right in my familiar surroundings. That is very important to me.
The Westerly has you covered. Apartment reservations are booking quickly. Visit livingwesterly.com.
Hola, my Wisconsin tequila drinking friends. Brian Noonan here for El Bandito Yankee Tequila. Get ready to break out the Bandito with El Bandito Yankee, the official tequila of game day, or a Monday when you're crying about game day. It's 100% Blue Weber Agave, award-winning, all-natural, additive-free, and the smoothest tequila Milwaukee, Madison, and Titletown have ever tasted. You can get yours today at great spots like La Pina on 3rd Street or your favorite local store. And remember, friends, you always win with the undefeated flavor of El Bandito Yankee Tequila. For events, recipes, places to buy it, go to elbanditoyankee.com. Muy bueno.
Can a local bank provide all the big bank services with the friendliness of a small-town neighbor? Waterstone Bank has been doing it for more than a century. This is your Waterstone Bank, and we're invested in the community, supporting education, women's and youth programs, and honoring our brave veterans and frontline heroes. We're at the heart of it all. Welcome to your Waterstone Bank.
Welcome back, Susan. How can I help you today?
Learn more at WSBOnline.com. That's WSBOnline.com. Member FDIC.
Woke up this morning with light in my eyes and then realized it was still dark outside.
It's Spanning the State. I'm Kristen Bry.
And I'm Brian Noonan. Aliens, Kristen, you believe in them?
I do.
All right. Flying saucers?
Sure.
Little green spacemen coming
Why
to
not?
Earth? Yeah. Well, since we could look up to the sky, men has wondered what was out in space and if we are alone. We've seen grainy pictures of alleged spacecrafts, heard rumors about Area 51. What is the truth? Well, some of our representatives in Washington are trying to find out. Last Wednesday, Subcommittee on Cybersecurity, Information Technology, and Government Innovation Chairwoman Nancy Mace from South Carolina and Subcommittee on National Security, the Border and Foreign Affairs Chairman Glenn Grothman from right here in Wisconsin's 6th District held a joint hearing titled Unidentified Anomalous Phenomenon, Exposing the Truth. Now, this is the second hearing on the topic of unidentified anomalous phenomenon, and it attempted to further pull back the curtain on secret UAP research programs conducted by the U.S. government and undisclosed findings that they have yielded. And joining us now is the man behind this hearing, Representative Glenn Grothman from Wisconsin 6th District. Representative, thanks for being here. We appreciate it.
Glad to be on the show. And by the way, that was Roger McGuinn with the Birds.
There you go.
Spaceman.
Roger McGuinn had a
Mr.
12-string
Spaceman.
guitar.
Exactly. So we like to give your listeners a little bit of rock and roll history here as we delve into the UAPs.
I love it. I like a little
It's like
top
you two would
40
get along.
DJ knowledge. Very nice, Congressman. That's excellent. All right, let me start with this question. Are you a believer in UAPs, or as they used to be called, UFOs?
Well, I'll tell you over time. By the way, I was a believer very much when I was in 8th grade. Okay.
All right.
So, I'm open-minded on this. Like a lot of things, I changed my mind from when I was in 8th grade. In 8th grade, I read some very long books about this sort of thing. And, of course, we now have another 50 years gone by. I think our government has discovered certain things that they don't want the world to know about. These things that are going so incredibly fast and can stop on a dime are things that nobody will admit that we know about. But we know they've been done out there. They've been photographed out there. So the question is, are they American-made? Are they made by another country around the world, like the Chinese or the Russians? Or are they made from another planet or another solar system? And my guess, and it's not based on anything, it's just a guess, this stuff has been going on a lot in the last 20 years. Okay. So I am chauvinistic enough to believe that if it's been made anywhere, it's been made in the good old U.S. of A.
Okay.
All right.
And if we have made it, we understandably do not want our what could be foreign adversaries to know what we're capable of doing. So we cover it up. And it's very frustrating the degree to which the government will tell you nothing, right? To this day, the government will not tell us everything that happened in Roswell, New Mexico in 1948 or whenever.
So, Representative, just to quickly, because when you say the government, you are part of the government. You are part of the government. So who more specifically are you talking about when you say the government?
Well, the Department of Defense, NASA, people who have the agencies that keep this information. We've brought them into hearings, both public hearings and private hearings, in which we meet in what's called a SCIF, a hearing room that is supposed to be highly confidential, and congressmen are sworn by law to never tell what they hear about. And no matter who we bring in from the government, I can't tell you the answer to that. Now, we passed a law that said that they should turn it over unless the president says it has to be kept confidential. Well, they're still saying it should be kept confidential. I have a hard time believing they can't turn over all the information from 1948, or there was another high-profile incident 20 years ago, what they call the TikTok tapes or whatever, and they won't turn that over from 20 years ago. So it's kind of frustrating. Maybe there was some amazing thing that we invented. I believe that if we know that this stuff came from another galaxy, they tell us.
Well, going back to what
we knew, go ahead.
Going back to what you said before, Congressman, if it's something that the U.S. made and we don't want our potential enemies to know about it, why is the committee pushing for so much transparency? Isn't this something? I know you said congressmen are sworn to secrecy, but we all know sometimes secrets get out, even unintentionally. Why would we want so much transparency instead of keeping a lid on this stuff?
Well, I think there comes a point. It's hard to imagine that anything in this country could have happened in 1948 or 1949, and we can't tell the public what it is.
Fair enough.
Right?
Yeah, okay.
I mean, everything else, all the secrets during World War II, all the secrets from the Soviet Union, the Venona stuff, and who the spies are, all that stuff has since been made public. What possibly could have happened back then that still has to be kept top secret? But it is. And that's very frustrating. And the public begins to wonder, are there people coming here from other galaxies or whatnot? And I wondered when I was 13 years old. So
all right.
Why don't they at least come forward and say, this is not from, some other galaxy?
But isn't that kind of contrary to what the testimony was both last year and this year for like the different former Pentagon officials and intelligence officers who have testified? Haven't they indicated that they think there is alien life form?
Not in so many words.
Okay.
And if they do know that, I don't know why they're not giving us the information. Right? I mean, I can understand why they're not giving the information if it's something we invented. And that's why I believe that it's from us. I don't know why they wouldn't give us the information if it was something China invented. And I don't know what it's to them if there are people coming here from other galaxies. I mean, why should we keep that secret? I don't know, particularly if it happened 70 years ago.
I think people, don't you think it might cause panic? Like if the majority of Americans found out that, hey, the government's we found there were alien spaceships and they came down, and I'm just playing alien advocate here, Congressman, but don't you think people would panic a little bit?
Well, you mean if there are little green men out there that were...
Or big, scary men, yeah.
I suppose it would be a great deal of interest, which is why they should release it, because right now there are an awful lot of people who believe, I don't know whether they're green or not, but there are an awful lot of people who believe that there are people coming here from other planets or other galaxies, and I was one of those people when I was 13 years old, and I don't know why they can't just settle on this. And another reason, by the way, why I don't entirely believe it is because disproportionately these things wind up flying around military bases or government property. Not that they haven't happened other places as well, but it makes me, again, wonder, wouldn't you think it's, if it was from outer space, why do they disproportionately wind up flying over our air bases or being seen by our fighter pilots,
Yeah, I'd go to Vegas or Paris or something if I'm dropping by the planet for the first time. Do you have any more?
Or if you just were going to land somewhere, wouldn't you land it by chance at Mitchell Field or, whatever?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, Congressman, we appreciate your time today, and we're going to keep following this. I know there's going to be some more hearings, so we appreciate your time and talking to us today about this. Congressman Glenn Grothman is the Republican representative from Wisconsin's 6th District. Thanks again, sir. We appreciate it.
Thank you much.
All right, let's do this. Then there's more. It's Spanning the State.
Hey, Billstead.
Yeah.
What's the longest river in the world?
Is it the Fox River?
Maybe. How about the biggest continent?
I'm pretty sure that's Australia.
I'm not sure if you got either of those right. But hey, trivia experts, you let us know. WTMJ's Trivia Showdown for Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive is brought to you by Quizmaster. Wednesday, November 20th at the Hounds and Tap.
That's right. Bring your dog. Come see us. Compete with and against fans for a chance to win prizes.
We get started at 7 o'clock. See you there.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about AccuNet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval did include that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with the local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. We'll also likely save you $1,000 to $3,000 in closing costs for exactly the same rate as your bank. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
everything.
Yes.
That's my official stance.
I want to listen. I want to see it. I said this the other day. The only way that the American people will believe that there's life out there is if you show it to us. If you have it, if you've been holding it in Roswell or Area 51, or you got it in a jar on your shelf in your office at the Pentagon, show us. And then we will all panic. And I do think people will panic.
I don't think people will panic. So I remember making this point last year during the summer, which was when the 2023 UAP hearing happened. And the same thing happened last week, where UAP, UFO, congressional, like none of alien, none of these words even broke the top 25 for Google searches on Google Trends.
You know what it is? It's the government putting the kibosh on the internet, so we cannot search that.
I think people don't care. I think people don't, like, unless it affects their day-to-day life, unless it affects them that they have to don't have to go to work tomorrow or don't have to pay rent or something like that. Like, I think people just don't care. But it's like, was there not more interest in what this testimony and these hearings were?
We're focused on the wrong aliens. That's the problem.
Ooh, good point. All right, ABC News and local headlines are next.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Growing calls for the House Ethics Committee to share its findings of the sexual misconduct investigation of ex-Congressman Matt Gaetz with the Senate before confirmation hearings. Gaetz stepped down hours after President-elect Trump chose him to be Attorney General. Here's ABC's Jay O'Brien.
We've heard from Republican senators who say they want their hands on that report, but the Speaker of the House has said to the committee he does not want them to release the report because he does not believe that they have jurisdiction over someone who is no longer a member of the House of Representatives.
President Biden at the G20 summit calling on world leaders to continue the charge to end global conflicts, including the war in Ukraine and in Gaza and Lebanon. Spirit Airlines filing for bankruptcy protection today. The bargain carrier trying to reorganize due to mounting debt and a failed merger along with a failed buyout. In the Northeast, fire crews continuing to battle brush fires. Rain is in the forecast later this week. This is ABC News.
Sunny Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 1:31. Happening now, the Milwaukee Health Department is holding an emergency vaccine clinic after a confirmed case of hepatitis A in the city. The person who has the disease works at Beans and Barley, a restaurant on Milwaukee's east side. The city health department says that person took necessary precautions after developing symptoms, is cooperating with health officials to minimize any spread. Hepatitis A is a contagious liver infection. It can be transmitted through contaminated food and waste. The vaccine clinic happening now is at Northwest Health Center on Mill Road. AAA just released its Thanksgiving travel forecast. A record number of people are expected to travel more than 50 miles for the holiday this year. AAA says about 1.6 million Wisconsinites are expected to travel this Thanksgiving. That's up 2.3% over last year. And McDonald's is investing $100 million to get customers back after the E. coli outbreak linked to onions on the Quarter Pounder. The investments include $65 million that will go directly to the hardest hit franchises. More than 100 E. coli cases are connected to that E. coli outbreak. People in 14 states got sick. One of those is from Wisconsin. One person died. Time for news about your money. Let's check out the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. It's been a bit of a mixed bag on Wall Street, and that continues to be the case right now. The Dow is down 114 points to 43,330. S&P 500 is up 15 points to 5,885. And the NASDAQ is up almost 72 points to 18,751. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Let's check out the roads now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We are looking okay. Things are better. We do have a disabled vehicle out in the system right now, but right by Timmerman West in Milwaukee County, 4145 South at Silver Spring Drive. Right shoulder is blocked due to a car that's broken down, but the backup's not too bad, at least right now. And here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Increasing clouds, rain this evening, but some of you are already seeing rain right now. A little bit of light rain in many areas. Tonight, on and off rain, mild and windy otherwise, low of 52. Tomorrow, rain in the morning, breezy and mild otherwise, high of 60 tomorrow. Wednesday, slight rain mix. We have a chance for a wintry mix on Wednesday, cooler and breezy, high of 46. Thursday, also a chance for rain and maybe a mix on Thursday too, high of 43. High of 44 on Friday, mostly cloudy and breezy. It's currently 52 degrees in Racine, 50 in Waukesha, and 53 here in Milwaukee. Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Frederick and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit freighter.com/heart.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Panic strikes as you realize on Wednesday that Thursday is your anniversary. The reservations being secured.
We'll see you at 8.
The gift being purchased. Yeah, you've got this. Just like Associated Bank's got you with early pay up to 2 days early on direct deposits. So even though they call you Last Minute Lisa, we'll make your last minute scrambling a bit easier. You've got this with early pay from Associated Bank. See associatedbank.com/checking or ask a banker for details. Member FDIC.
Rhea's back, pumping out the jams.
Rhea is back. Welcome back, Rhea.
Welcome back. Hi. And she came back sick. That's no way to come back from a vacation.
know.
That's a bad way to come back.
I'm happy to be back, though. I missed you guys.
Well, we missed you too. So, but feel better. All right. Hey, it's Spanning the State. I'm Brian Nooner.
And I am Kristen Bry. And buried in last week's news after bombshell of Trump nomination for his cabinet was some priorities listed by the Wisconsin legislature, or at least the different parties. And so I guess my question, as you're listening right now, is as high information listeners who care about the news, what do you want the Wisconsin legislature to focus on next term? K through 12 funding, higher education funding, childcare, clean water, tax credits. There's a $4 billion surplus.
All right.
And I think a lot of us hope that this time around, maybe we will come to a decision or some kind of compromise on how to use it instead of it just sitting there.
Yeah, there's a lot of there are a lot of priorities, and you mentioned a number of them. Another one is just, hey, how about a little something for the effort, a little kickback to the taxpayers.
Absolutely. And so that is from the Republican standpoint, according to Robin Voss, that the budget surplus, that is, like I said, exceeds $4 billion, that in his view, the Assembly Republicans want to direct their effort towards returning that money to taxpayers, particularly pushing a retirement income tax exemption. Now, I don't know. Did you cover this much in 2023 when the last time we did this? The budget?
No.
This wasn't a big WTMJ Nights topic for you to go through,
we talked
budget policy?
We talked about it a little, but we were not policy wonks at night.
So here's the thing that before we even get to talking about how you give money back to different tax brackets, the thing that is insane to me about Wisconsin tax brackets when it comes to state income tax, let me know, Brian, if you think this makes sense.
All right.
So the lowest tax bracket is $0 to $14,320.
Okay.
So, poverty level.
Now that you start these numbers, I did talk about this.
So the next bracket is $14,320 to $28,640. Still very low.
That's a nice range.
The third bracket is from $28,640, which I would say on the low side.
Yeah, you're
definitely not. I would say struggling to probably pay your bills,
right?
Depending on maybe where you live in the state, but not a lot of money. To $315,310.
I remember. I think I was in for Jeff Wagner when this came out. And I remember talking about this because that is the most absurd range of income that I have ever heard of.
You live a very different life.
Oh my God!
Between $28,000 and $315,000.
Even if it was $28,000 and $100,000, that's still a gigantic disparity in incomes that those people have no reason being in the same tax bracket.
So I do think it's a hard sell sometimes when it's cutting taxes when the brackets feel so out of whack.
Yeah.
I do think there's probably an appetite for different tax credits to incentivize behavior and stuff like that. The other thing that I thought was interesting that Voss went on record saying is that voters should decide via referendum what restrictions should be placed on abortion access in the state. If you remember last year, Assembly Republicans did vote in January to pass a bill asking voters whether the state should ban abortion. So that would go back to these direct referendums that we've kind of been complaining about because they're always worded so weirdly.
Yes.
But in order for us to do that, the legislature, so both chambers, would have to, in 2 consecutive legislative sessions, pass that.
Right.
So we would still be, the soonest it could happen is like 4 years from now.
4 years.
So I don't know if that'll happen, but it will be interesting to see if that is a priority to try to pass that again. And that's all it seems like was really laid out. It seems like taxes potentially pushing the abortion issue to voters. And then from Democrats, Senate Minority Leader Dianne Hasselbein said Senate Democrats are going to argue to fund K through 12 students for meals, make tuition affordable for universities and tech schools, and accept federal funding to expand Medicaid, which is very popular, which we have never done. We've talked about that on this show.
Right.
And so, it'll be interesting to see if there is as much clashing as there typically is, or if there is any room for compromise.
I think
this year
there should be some, because I could see the Republicans being upset if the Democrats were, we're going to use this money to give free college education or free this. Free breakfast and lunch should be a no-brainer. That's, we've seen it work in other states. There's study after study that kids need food to do better in school. So that should be a no-brainer, but there will be arguments about that. I like that they're saying we're gonna work to make college more affordable. That means people still have to pay. They're still gonna have to take out loans, but do a little bit of this. But I as I was reading these articles, one thing I found very interesting is that a majority of people in Wisconsin are for funding public schools. That's one of the biggest things that Wisconsin residents would like to see some of this money go for.
Well, they keep approving referendums, right?
Right.
I mean, that was a headline this morning as far as the amount of referendums that were funding schools and the choice to raise our taxes in order to fund these schools was, again, kind of a record year. This last, whatever, 2 weeks? Are we 2 weeks away from the election already? Is that what it was? 2 weeks.
Seems like
tomorrow will be
ages ago.
2 weeks.
Is that all?
Well, when we come back, there is one proposal from the new state Senate president that I am on board with.
All right.
It has to do with pricing at hospitals and transparency. So we'll get into that after this on Spanning the State.
Planning for retirement is like planning a road trip. You wouldn't start a long journey without a map, right? The same goes for your financial future. Every retirement plan needs the right tools. Social Security is one of those critical tools. But did you know when and how you claim your benefits can dramatically affect your retirement income? At Drake & Associates, we'll help you navigate the twists and turns of Social Security. Our team can guide you on when to start collecting benefits to maximize your income. Don't leave your retirement journey to chance. Call us or text SS to 414-409-9982. That's SS to 414-409-9982. Let us help you map out a secure and enjoyable retirement.
Drake & Associates is an independent investment advisory firm that offers different investment vehicles. All insurance products are backed by the issuing insurance company. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only.
When you're due for tire service, visit richlawns.com for the location nearest you.
We'll give you free flat tire repair on every tire we install. No questions asked. I'm Brett Matchke with Rich Lawns. You're due for service.
Rich Lawns.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
And that's the best thing about Capital's Furnace Beyondification.
Absolutely.
I agree.
Hey, Merle, what you got? What's this? A screenplay?
Let me see this. Captain Capital, Heat and Air Hero.
That's so awesome, Merle.
Hang on. I've been writing a screenplay like this.
For years.
It's an epic, and it's Capital Man, not Captain Capital. Yes, of course he restores your furnace to like new condition.
Says here, Captain Capital has a deep clean device.
Aha! Capital Man deep cleans your system with his laser beam hands.
What?
I'm developing a sidekick. He always does a comprehensive safety checks. You wrote yourself in as the sidekick?
As long as it gets across how Capital's Furnace Beyondification saves the day.
And how you want to do it before winter hits.
Well, that's the whole point.
That's what I'm saying.
Then it's great.
Laura, Seth, I need a moment with Merle, please.
Schedule your Furnace Beyondification today at callcapitalcares.com.
Share all the holiday joy this season with the convenient shipping and enhanced network of the United States Postal Service. Visit USPS.com/holidayride.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
All right, we're talking about the priorities that the legislature is putting out for their next session, and you're excited about this one.
Well, hopefully it goes somewhere. All right.
I do too.
So you obviously coming off of a surgery.
Yes.
Did you know going into your surgery how much it was going to cost you?
No, but I know that the hospital contacted my insurance company before we could move forward with scheduling. So somebody knew what it was going to cost. I know what my deductible is, and I know what I would, I know there was going to be something, but no, I did not know the bottom line.
I feel like it's often just a surprise once you get the bill of like, well, this is how much your insurance covered, and this is how much you're on the hook for.
Yes.
Even though you went into it having no idea how much it was actually going to cost.
Yeah, it's like walking into a showroom and driving out with a Cadillac, and you don't know, what do I owe for this car?
I think about this all the time with giving birth.
Yeah.
Of like how expensive it is just to deliver the baby.
Yeah.
Anyways, but like, for example, like an MRI can cost somewhere between $300 or $3,000, depending on where you get it. And same thing with like a colonoscopy. It can be $1,000. It can be $10,000.
Who's giving a $10,000 colonoscopy?
There's no real transparency around pricing at hospitals. And so one thing I am excited about is the new state Senate president in Wisconsin, State Senator Mary Felskowski. She's renewed her push for hospitals to be more transparent about what they charge for procedures. And this feels like something that should get bipartisan support, right? She's a Republican,
again, you would think.
But I feel like this is something that's like, all right, yes, power to the people, not to hospitals, not to insurance companies. So the bill that she's already introduced this once, and it never saw a vote. So this was last year. And the bill would have required hospitals to keep a list on their website of 300 shoppable services or non-emergency procedures they provide. And then the plan would have also banned hospitals from charging for the information or requiring people to set up user accounts in order to read it.
Oh, okay.
So blocking, gatekeeping
yes.
the information, or, getting that sweet email address for your email blasts. And then the state health department would have enforced the requirements and levied fines. And so you might be asking, but wait, isn't there a federal law that already says hospitals have to do that?
But wait, isn't there a federal law that says hospitals have to do that?
There is.
Oh.
There is. Hospitals are actually already obligated to disclose some price information. A federal rule that went into effect in 2021 requires hospitals to post the cash prices and rates negotiated with health insurers for a broad list of procedures. But according to Felskowski, federal government, not very good on enforcing that.
Well.
And so she said last week during her interview that I guess Colorado is an example of a state that has passed their own legislation when it comes to enforcing hospitals within their state boundaries to be more transparent, and it's working great.
I had never seen this before, and then a number of years ago, I went to visit somebody at Rush Hospital in Chicago, and it was just like McDonald's. Behind the desk, when you walked in, was a price list.
Yeah.
And I thought it was the craziest thing. I'm like, where am I that they're putting up a price list? But now
But shouldn't it be like
yes,
that?
It
as
should.
far as if there's different hospitals that are charging wildly different amounts for the same procedure.
The problem is going to be if your doctor is in this network, are you going to comparison shop and go, well, listen, I know you're with this hospital, but I found this hospital same distance from my house on the other side of town that's going to do it for $2,000 cheaper. How is that would be the problem I would see of how they got to work that out.
So if you found out, this scenario, so let's find out you have insurance.
Right.
You need a colonoscopy.
Okay.
The doctors or the hospitals in your network that can do it, even after your deductible, even after insurance, will still cost you more out of pocket than let's say you find some other hospital that even though they're not in your network, will charge you less. If we're believing in free markets, shouldn't we believe that you should have the option to be like, all right, if I go pay cash over here, this is still going to be a better deal. I mean, this is medical tourism, right? So it's people leaving the states entirely to get different procedures done because it's so much cheaper in other countries.
But then if I get, and I don't mean to make a joke, but I'm just if I go to a different doctor than my doctor, is my colonoscopy still going to be warranted by my original doctor? If I go to
warranted, did those things come with warranties?
I don't know, but mine didn't. It was a lemon. It was horrible.
Colonoscopy warranties look like.
It's like, well, we'll check. We'll give you a tune-up in a couple months. It's that kind of warranty. It's the 60 days service. You're under the umbrella.
It's like when you're checking out on Amazon. It's like, do you want a 2-year warranty for an extra $60?
I do. I want you to do I want the procedure that is going to give me the warranty. I don't want the cheapy procedure. It's like if I go to a car wash.
Isn't that just called malpractice?
Well, listen, you know more legalese than I do. I'm not an attorney. I'm just saying, if I could get the $4 car wash or the $10 car wash, the $10 car wash is better than the $4. If I get a $300 colonoscopy or the $3,000 colonoscopy, I'm betting the $3,000 comes with a little more thorough.
I think that's consumer psychology, and that you might be wrong.
You think I'm a dupe for big colonoscopy?
I do.
All right.
On that note, we'll be back after this.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Center getting more information this morning now about an overnight accident at Milwaukee Mitchell International.
Eric Billstad.
Worldwide coverage of the Southeast Wisconsin kayaker who investigators believe faked his own death is now leading to more tips.
And traffic with Debbie Lozica.
We've got an issue southbound on 43, but we have an accident right at State Street.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
A cancer diagnosis shouldn't mean we can't make plans. It shouldn't mean living without joy or optimism. Cancer shouldn't be calling the shots. At the Fredert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Cancer Network, we're pushing to put cancer in its place by pulling together teams of leading specialists and researchers who work tirelessly for breakthroughs, who are developing innovative ways to treat every cancer, to treat your cancer. And by providing the largest cancer clinical trials treatment program in Wisconsin. So there are more treatment options and more reasons to be hopeful. So let's keep innovating. Let's keep discovering. Let's push to make every cancer diagnosis a story of survivorship and bring back the lightness of life that cancer takes away. To learn more about breakthrough cancer care, visit froedtert.com/cancer.
When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about AccuNet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval did include that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with the local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. We'll also likely save you $1,000 to $3,000 in closing costs for exactly the same rate as your bank. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Cheese doodles, Mr. Nougat Bar. Oh, here we go. 4-door hatchback.
Some things are fine to buy from a vending machine, but a car's not one of them. That national online company makes it seem convenient, but it won't be so convenient if you have a problem with the vehicle you buy. And if it's after 7 days, good luck. Adam member dealers also let you search online, plus test drive the vehicle before you buy it. And they're right here to handle any issues.
But the car's stuck. No!
Start your search at adamm.com.
All right, we got to go to news soon, but I'll end my rant on this because, we were just talking about that the new state Senate president is renewing her push for hospital pricing transparency, and this is what I always feel like. I'm a pretty educated person,
sure,
and every time I come face to face with having to navigate our health system, I always wonder how people less equipped than me can even begin to do it because it's like I'm pretty smart, I think.
Right,
I like
you
to think.
You can understand
and
it.
And the fact that I get so confused and exhausted by navigating the system, I can only imagine how other people do. So anything that has to do with simplifying and making more transparency around our health systems, I'm here for, no matter what party sponsors it. All right, news is next, and then we will spin around the state on Spanning the State.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Hey, WTMJ's John Burkier here. We've all got a story about regretting a paint color choice. Let the pros help you. Your neighborhood CertaPro painter can help you with color consultation services. They're the real deal. They've done the painting at my house. They know what they're doing. They're friendly, they're efficient, and they're affordable. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. Free estimates, reliable communication, professional painting at the right price. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy, choose CertaPro Painters.
Rake in a big win this November at Potawatomi. Go head-to-head in the Cash Clash game show for your share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. The Cash Clash game show at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Happy Thanksgiving. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Built Right Furniture, Leather, and Mattress. If you're looking for affordable, better quality furniture or mattresses, you must do what my family did. Go to Built Right. Built Right's Black November deals and $1 million clearance sell-off is on now. It's all about your comfort, your style, your home at Built Right. 4 generations, 96 years strong. Built Right always saves you money. 3rd and 4th generation family members, they're right there in the store, working alongside their amazing team with over 400 years experience. experience. Be ready for your holiday guests with thousands of furniture and mattress items in stock, including dining room, living room, bedroom, sleeper sofas, lift chairs, recliners, and much, much more. 60 models of USA-made mattresses, including flippable and heavy-duty models. Gift certificates available. Free in-store design services as well. Built Right voted best place to shop. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Sunday, they're closed to be with family. Tell them Vinny sent you to Built Right, 54th and Layton Avenue in Greenfield.
Smart interior designers know that what they'll see here is going to be almost impossible to find anywhere else, especially at our consignment prices. Premium home decor that's gently loved and close to new. And what we carry can raise the wow factor of anyone's home decor. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Warning, these rockets are in restricted airspace. Time to get our anti-air defense team.
From Giannis on the help side, defense blocks his fourth shot of the night. Now he is off and running. He will lay it in off the window with a foul.
Our Bucks Rockets coverage starts tonight at 6 with Buck Shoot Around on your home of the Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
201 and 49 degrees with light rain in Milwaukee. I'm Julia Fellow. Tonight, on and off rain. It'll be windy, a low of 52. Wind gusts up to 35 miles an hour. Tomorrow morning rain and be breezy and mild, a high of 60 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Eric Hovde concedes the race for U.S. Senate.
Hovde held a slim lead over Senator Tammy Baldwin on election night. But after the absentee ballots in Milwaukee were finally counted, the race was called for the incumbent, winning by just less than 1%.
I've decided to concede the election.
Hovde questioned those absentee ballots, but announced on X today that he would not be calling for a recount.
A recount would serve no purpose because you will just be recounting the same ballots regardless of their integrity.
Had he asked for one, state law would have required Hovde to pay for it. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Should Wisconsin's top elections official keep her job? Attorneys for both sides made their case before the Supreme Court today on whether Elections Administrator Megan Wolf should remain. Misha Salin argued for Senate Republicans who want Wolf removed.
3 commissioners have decided that they will not send any administrative appointment to the Senate for as long as they wish.
Charlotte Gibson represents the Elections Commission.
This is an intense, full-time job requiring expertise and experience, and it just doesn't work if there are frequent changes in personnel and sudden vacancies.
Wolf was first appointed to the nonpartisan position in 2018. President Joe Biden authorizes Ukraine to use American-made long-range weapons in its war with Russia.
This is something that the United States needed to do to help Ukraine defend itself.
Former U.S. Ambassador to Russia, John Sullivan, justified President Biden's decision and warned that there will likely be a response from Russian President Vladimir Putin.
He's got to do something, but I believe it will be a response that the United States and its allies can manage.
The authorization came after thousands of North Korean troops joined the Russian side, expected to fight in Ukraine within weeks. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Mixed bag here. The Dow is down 66 points. S&P 500 up 24. NASDAQ up 119. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth. Annex Private Client. Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sighting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 2:03.
Did you wake up with joint pain? Does it hurt doing routine activities? How are those knees feeling? Or have you been told it's hip replacement time? WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. You deserve a life of comfort, not a life of repeated steroid shots that cause long-term damage. It's time to check out QC Kinetics. They'll walk you through the proper diagnostics for a non-surgical regenerative treatment. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative cellular treatments for joint pain. It's an all-natural approach that harnesses your body's own healing properties to treat the root cause of your arthritic pain. Yes, you can have real, lasting relief from joint pain without drugs, without surgery, and without downtime. Learn about your options. Call QC Kinetics. Consultations are free with Saturday appointments available at locations in Greenfield and Mequon. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474.
Diamonds Direct's biggest and most spectacular sale of the year is starting now. For the first time, it's bigger than ever. Take 20% off virtually everything. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, everything to make this holiday sparkle. This weekend, we're decking the halls with an expanded selection and top designers' appearances in the store. 20% off now through Sunday. Skip the Black Friday madness this year with Diamonds Direct. Open all weekend. For the best selection, quality, and price, shop direct. Get details at diamondsdirect.com.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family.
They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Matt LaFleur's Packers 7-3 after Sunday's 20-19 win over the Bears.
It was a roller coaster game, but that's this league. And you have to be resilient. Not everything's always going to go your way, and you got to keep battling.
Despite the record, the Packers remain in third place of the NFC North behind the Lions and Vikings. 49ers visit Lambeau in Week 12. And your Milwaukee Bucks are back on the home floor tonight against the Rockets. Damian Lillard is expected to play after missing the last 3 games because of a concussion. Coverage of tonight's game begins after the 6 o'clock news. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. It's raining out there. Sometimes it's heavy, so be aware and please drive carefully. We have an incident at 4145 South at Silver Spring Drive. The right shoulder is blocked because of the disabled vehicles, causing some slowdowns there. There's also something going on 4394 North at the ramp from Holt Avenue. The left lane is now blocked because of a crash, so that's difficult. One more thing that just popped up by Oconomowoc, a disabled vehicle on the ramp from Highway 67 North to I-94 East at this time.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Mazda Milwaukee. Visit hallmazdamilwaukee.com.
If you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda Traffic Tip Line. 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Volkswagen during Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event.
Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, mostly cloudy, a low of 41. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, night showers are possible, high of 54. Sunday, a slight chance of showers, mostly cloudy, mild and breezy. Monday, mostly cloudy, a chance of evening showers. And Tuesday, rain likely and breezy, a high of 59 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's 48 degrees. Green Bay, it's 53. And Waukesha, it's 50 degrees. Setting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 2:07.
It's time to take a spin around Wisconsin and find stories you might have missed. Here's Spinning the State on Spanning the State with Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Remember, you can always get more details on the stories you hear by texting SPIN to 855-616-1620. We've had a couple days away, but the wheel awaits.
Milwaukee.
All right. To say there's a lot of history at Milwaukee's Forest Home Cemetery would be a wild understatement. The oldest operating cemetery in Milwaukee is the final resting place for pioneers, industrialists, and beer barons. But under the surface, there is another level of Milwaukee's history that is thought to stretch back thousands of years. The Journal Sentinel reports that researchers from Marquette University, the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, and the Wisconsin Historical Society, along with the Ho-Chunk Nation, have confirmed that 2 ancient indigenous mounds were hidden within the cemetery, camouflaged as it's in its characteristic rolling hills. Increase Lapham. He's the civil engineer who helped transform Milwaukee into the booming city in the mid-1800s, knew the mounds were there when he designed Forest Home. His records indicate that he made sure the mounds were protected. Now, hundreds of mounds once dotted what is now known as Milwaukee before being leveled to make way for developments. Before these two mounds were rediscovered at Forest Home, experts thought the only surviving indigenous mound in Milwaukee was in Lake Park Cemetery.
Oh.
So, yes, so now there are more, and the history continues.
Wow.
So, yeah, they said anywhere you step, there's Native American history under you here.
Well.
So I don't know what's under the studios here, but suddenly it's like Poltergeist.
God. Okay. Spit it again.
All right, I will. I'm going to make your last 4 days just insane.
No, it's going to be great. That might be my last 4. You just probably... My last 4 before I'm taking a break. I'm not leaving the station.
That's true. No, that's true. Your last 4 this week.
All right, we missed it. Superior. It has landed on Superior, our friends in the north. All right, a good school superintendent is judged on a lot of factors. Graduation rate being a big one. Increased graduation rates in the Superior School District are being credited as part of the reason that Superior Public Schools Chief Amy Starzeski was named Superintendent of the Year by the Wisconsin Association of School District Administrators.
Wow.
Starzeski says her award should be shared with the district's entire staff. Quote, "It was a surprise," the superintendent told WPR. Quote, I have said many times since this award was announced last week that it is a direct result of the staff, the principals, and the administration. My job as superintendent is to create a vision, but it's really the work of everybody in our organization that makes that vision a reality. The graduation rate at Superior High School jumped to 98%.
Wow.
Currently, from 85%, which is still pretty high.
That's pretty good.
In 2018, when Starzeski took the job. So she will be given the award at the group's January meeting in Milwaukee.
98% is impressive.
High. I wonder how many kids are in that school district.
I don't know.
I've never been to Superior. I feel like I need to add that to the bucket list.
Yeah, I don't know if I've been to Superior or not.
Add that to a Bayfield-Ashland trip when we're at the tippy top of the state.
Yeah, let's go. Well, let's do a spanning the top of the state, and we'll just go right up there, and then we'll look down on the rest of Wisconsin. Figuratively.
That's how it works.
Of course. Well, listen, it may not be how it works, but in my mind, it makes perfect sense.
Wisconsin Rapids.
I always, if I find a Wisconsin Rapids story, I like to include it just in case your parents are involved in this some way.
They have yet to be involved in any Wisconsin Rapids story we've pulled.
Well, but I know your parents like dogs.
Well, my mother likes dogs.
Your mother likes dogs. Well, Lola is having a birthday. No, not the showgirl from Barry Manilow's Copacabana. This Lola is I left out the Kinks one because that was going to be too much. The Lola is the Wood County Sheriff's Office therapy dog, and she turned 1 year old. So Friday, the department threw a big first birthday party for Lola, and everyone in the community, the Bries included, were invited to attend. Lola's handler, Lieutenant Susanna Wagner, told the Wisconsin Rapids Tribune that getting a picture with Lola is very popular with people in the community. So Lola posed for a photo with every person who made a donation to the South Wood County Humane Society at her birthday party. Wagner said the party was a way to show the community that Lola is their dog, too. Lola is a black lab. She goes to work with Wagner most days, and as part of her training, Wagner has made sure Lola has the opportunity to interact with as many people as possible, except I guess your mom and dad. She's not interacting with them. But Lola has started the therapy training. She's not being rushed. In the meantime, Lola seems to instinctively know what to do to get along with people. So happy birthday, Lola.
Happy birthday, Lola. What do you feel about dogs in costumes?
I am against it.
So it's for Lola's birthday. She's dressed up in a blue tutu and a blue flowered lei. And I was like, she kept it on.
Yeah.
Cliff, whenever we try to put anything on Cliff, he kind of gives you those eyes like, really? Really? We're doing this?
That's it. See, I look at it, and I know I'm anamorphosizing. Is that the right word? Where I'm giving them human qualities. But I know that the dogs don't like it. Dogs don't like to be dressed up.
I know. But she looks like she's fine. Like she had wings on. Like it was they really had a get up for her.
Yeah, see, Molly will put Walter in costumes. We don't.
How does he take it? He takes it.
Yeah, he takes it. He knows which side his bread is buttered on. He's like, if this is what I need to get treats and more stuff, then
I'll
that's
make
what
you
I'll
happy,
do.
Mom.
Yeah.
All right.
He doesn't like it, though. If you want more information, wow, I am having some sort of stroke today. Information on any of the stories you heard today, text SPIN to 855-616-1620. When we come back, the Wisconsin Supreme Court heard oral arguments today involving whether Wisconsin Elections Commission Administrator Megan Wolf can stay on the job. Alexander Schur has been covering that for Wisconsin Eye and Wisconsin Watch. What is this? Watch on Wisconsin Eye. Anyway, all right. I'm going to put my head on my desk. I'm going to take a little nap. And when we come back, I'll try to form a sentence. I don't guarantee anything here on Spanning the State.
It's Monday.
Get inside the mind of Mark Tauscher.
When you did the impressions of Coach Alvarez, which I love doing on the radio with the state now.
See the world from his perspective.
When Barry would get really mad or very frustrated, his voice goes up 15 octaves.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, every day at 7:50.
God dang it. Come on, we got guys over at the towers not paying attention.
Mark Tauscher, presented by Hello Windows and Doors of Wisconsin and Kohler Services.
Hey, it's Kristen Bry, and if you're looking for a new dentist, you should check out Dr. James Michaels at Economawalk Dental Care. I had my first appointment with him last month. It turned out I needed a crown replaced, and like most of us usually are, I was apprehensive about pain, about cost, but with the new state-of-the-art dental procedures that Dr. Michaels uses, I had my crown prepped and finished in less than 2 hours. No temporary crown, no need to go back 2 weeks later. And Dr. Michaels' fantastic staff put me on a no-interest payment plan because at Economawalk Dental Care, affordable quality dentistry is no longer a dream, it's the reality. So whether you need a simple cleaning, an exam, a more complex dental procedure, teeth whitening, an implant, Economawalk Dental will always make you feel as comfortable as possible and give you and your family an amazing smile. We all have to go to the dentist, so do not put it off any longer. Check out Economawalk Dental Care at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give them a call at 262-567-7224.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. They're the best. Let them make outdoor living unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
It is Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
And I am Kristen Bry. And this morning, the Wisconsin Supreme Court heard oral arguments in a case involving whether Wisconsin Elections Commission Administrator Megan Wolf can stay in her job. So who was watching? Alexander Schur was there, and he is a reporter for VoteBeat. And so he joins us now to discuss kind of the background of how we got here and also what some of the key takeaways were from the hearing this morning. Welcome back to the show, Alex.
Thanks again for having me.
Absolutely. All right. So remind us of the background on this case. I feel like this has been a back and forth of there's some precedent because of a DNR appointee. So there's a lot of things going on to get to this point. And so can you kind of summarize it for us?
Yeah, I'm going to do the very quick version, then you can ask follow-up questions.
All right. Perfect.
All right. Perfect.
In 2022, the Wisconsin Supreme Court, which was then under a conservative majority, decided that people could hold over past their terms end, even if, in that case, the governor appointed someone to the role, but the Senate didn't confirm them, the other person refused to leave. So this time, Megan Wolf, whose term expired in July 2023, She's the chief election official in the state. She hasn't been appointed to a new term, but the Democratic commissioners on the election commission argue that they don't have to appoint her, or even that they cannot appoint her. And they point to this precedent saying they can't appoint anyone to the role unless a vacancy exists in that role. So they say this role is not vacant, therefore they cannot replace this person. The political reason behind their decision not to reappoint Wolf could be that if they do appoint Megan Wolf, she goes before the Senate. The Senate has voiced their urge to oust Megan Wolf, so appointing her would essentially be, something that would lead to her ouster. So currently she's in this limbo state, and there's this lawsuit kind of trying to get a word from a legal authority, like, is this okay? Could Wolf stay on forever? And then, WEC is arguing that. On the other side, you have Republican legislative leaders who think she or somebody else must be appointed so the Senate could have a vote.
So if that's kind of the background. So like you just said, so who is the plaintiff? Who is the defendant? What is the actual claim that is being argued in front of the Wisconsin Supreme Court?
In this case, the plaintiff is Wolf and the Elections Commission, and they were originally bringing forth this lawsuit to stop the Senate and a legislative committee from either ousting Wolf or nominating an appointee in her place. So Wolf and WEC filed this lawsuit earlier this year. A Dane County court sided with the Elections Commission and Wolf and said, no, you cannot oust her. Or sorry, more so, they said, no, you cannot replace Wolf with another appointee. So Republicans appealed that ruling to an appeals court, and then Wolf and WEC appealed that ruling to the Wisconsin Supreme Court. So currently the argument is, do commissioners on the Elections Commission have to appoint somebody? Because currently Wolf was not appointed past her most recent term's end. So the argument from Republican legislative leaders is you can't just use a loophole and abuse a loophole to keep somebody in their role a year and a half after it technically ended. On the other side, there's this kind of referencing this past precedent that Democrats at the time were infuriated over, but now it's kind of to their advantage. And they're saying, well, she's legally in her role. You cannot oust her. So and I think, go on.
Where does this go from here? I mean, once the Supreme Court makes their decision, that's
well, before we
right?
jump to that,
yeah.
So what was the vibe like in the hearing today as far as the questions posed by the justices?
I think what I would say is, the court is under a liberal majority, and I think the four justices comprising the majority seemed really skeptical of the Republicans' arguments. Jill Karofsky, one of the liberal justices, pointed to this precedent from 2022, in that case, Republicans wanted their appointee to stay past their term, and this time they don't. And Justice Karofsky asked, this is a case of careful what you wish for. And she was kind of pointing up, like, you wanted someone to stay past their term 2 years ago. Now you want them to be ousted. And I think, we'll see what happens. We'll see what the contours of the decision are when the decision comes out. But it seemed like the liberal justices were leaning in the direction that Megan Wolf, for now, is legally in her role, and probably for now, commissioners don't need to appoint someone. That doesn't mean Wolf is on, in her role forever, because at any point the commissioners could either appoint her or somebody else. So I don't think the ruling will necessarily force any action or require any action. It seemed likeliest, based on the tone today, that Wolf would just kind of continue to be in this kind of current state that she's in which she's a lawful holdover who hasn't been appointed past her most recent term.
And there's no end to this, right? As long as Tony Evers is the governor, she could stay in this post, right? Until a new governor comes in and appoints someone else. Is that right?
So it's actually the commissioners doing the appointing, the Wisconsin Elections Commissioners. So, yeah, I mean, until you need four commissioners to appoint someone. So, in 1 year, maybe they decide to appoint Wolf, or in 2 years, maybe they decide they're going to appoint somebody else. So I don't think they're restricted in what they are able to do, and whether they're able to make an appointment. At least that's not currently being litigated. It's just that they're trying to say we are not required right now to appoint either Wolf or a replacement.
So that's
what they're trying to prevent happening.
So if the liberal justices come back and say they side with the Wisconsin Election Commission and say she can stay in this role, this will be two cases basically saying that people can overstay their appointment. And so is this kind of where we will go from here, is not putting an end to some of these political games?
I mean, that's a very possible and likely outcome. And I did some reporting on that. I spoke with Brenna Godar, who's a staff attorney at the State Democracy Research Initiative at Wisconsin. And she was saying, you could do this, but it's going to, these are sort of examples of dysfunction in the appointment process, and that could undermine trust in those processes and those institutions. And she said, whether or not you think Wolf should continue in her role, it's important for appointment processes to happen in the way they're supposed to happen. And I kind of heard that sentiment from people on the left and right, like, because of this precedent, because of these political games, because Wolf, was wrongfully maligned for, things that she did not do. There are supporters of Wolf, but some of those same people are saying, it's not a great look that this person is in her role, as the chief administrator of Wisconsin elections, which is obviously an extremely scrutinized thing, and her status in that role is kind of disputed. So I think there's some people who say the optics are bad, but others are saying, we're justified. Look what the other side did.
Alex, is this a phenomenon that's unique to Wisconsin? Do other states have this kind of setup where appointees can stay after their term is technically up?
That's a good question. I don't know for a fact, but I imagine it's not completely unique to Wisconsin, although these sort of like political games with like the Senate being unwilling to confirm and then, appointees refusing to leave, it seems definitely like a more contentious dynamic in Wisconsin than many other states, but that's not to say I know the specifics of every other.
All right. Well, we're going to have to let you go, Alexander, but thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you both.
Thanks, Alexander.
Alexander Schur is a reporter with Vote Beat. When we come back, we'll have more on Spanning the State.
When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show,
wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Steve and Ashley heard our radio ads over the years, and when it came time to buy their first home, they clicked on the blue button. We sent them a credit-verified pre-approval the same day and upgraded to a rock-solid, fully verified and guaranteed pre-approval shortly thereafter. We also let them know about AccuNet's property-specific pre-approval, where we might be able to include those magic words, no appraisal required. When they wrote their next offer, several $1,000s over asking to make sure someone else didn't end up sleeping in their dream home, their property-specific rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval did include that most powerful phrase, no appraisal required, and the sellers picked Steve and Ashley's offer over several others. If you think all mortgage lenders and pre-approvals are the same, think again. Go with the local mortgage lender that has the tools and know-how to help you win. We'll also likely save you $1,000 to $3,000 in closing costs for exactly the same rate as your bank. Whether you're looking to buy or refi, click on the blue button today at accunet.com.
Hey, this is WTMJ Steve Scavini for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. Just picked up a 2023 pre-owned Chevy Silverado 1500 LT, beautiful glacier blue. Here's what I love about Heiser. All the great programs. Safe and Sound program. Vehicle exchange program. Valid on new or pre-owned vehicles, which is what I was talking about. Purchase or lease for the comfort of your own home. Roadside assistance for life. All the things you love about about Heiser is all the reasons why they say every day and why I always tell people at Heiser, today's your day.
Get ready for the moment we've all been waiting for. It's the 300K season finale giveaway at Potawatomi. Friday, December 20th, watch your entries from Bird Bash, Cash Clash, and Winter Stash. All pile into one massive drawing for a chance at up to 50 grand cash. Be there to win your share. December 20th, only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/finale. Must be 21 years old to play.
It's Spanning the State. I'm Brian Noonan.
I'm Kristen Bright. Brian, have you had much of... Where do you exist on social media? Like, what platforms do you partake in?
Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, currently known as X.
Are you still doing Twitter?
Well, I did the other night when Netflix would not buffer.
Oh.
When I was trying to... I went on a tear.
Trying to find the fight?
Yeah. And mocking Netflix.
Was Twitter helpful? Oh, you just used it
I just used it to call out Netflix and mock them. I had a couple good jokes. I was pretty proud of my...
Let's hear some of your jokes.
I don't
Are they air-friendly?
No, they're in the middle. They're in... I don't remember what they were, but I know I was like, oh, this is a pretty good tweet, you know. But,
did you get any love on the...
Nah, not really. A few likes, some likes, a couple retweets.
All right.
So that's, nothing big.
I wonder because Steve Scafidi just dropped by in the producer booth, and he's been off X. I joined Blue Sky over the weekend.
I did too.
Oh, you see?
I did.
And it's very daunting having to start like a brand new thing. I mean, who am I supposed to be following here?
Because I filled out the little interest thing, all of a sudden, like all the posts were dogs. It was all because I said I liked animals as one of the many things I checked. So they just kept sending me dog stuff. I'm like, there's got to be other things here.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President-elect Trump's transition team working with the White House before Inauguration Day, now just over 2 months away. State Department spokesman Matthew Miller says Antony Blinken spoke with State Secretary nominee Senator Marco Rubio.
The Secretary phoned Secretary-designate Marco Rubio yesterday to offer his congratulations on his appointment and to pledge to him, as we have said publicly, that we will do everything within our power to make it a successful transition.
Other Trump nominees could be in for a bumpier ride when it comes to Senate confirmations. A growing number of Republican lawmakers asking the House Ethics Committee to share its sexual misconduct report into Matt Gaetz. He stepped down after he was chosen to be Attorney General. New York City Mayor Eric Adams raising the drought level from watch to warning, issuing water-saving measures and pausing the Delaware Aqueduct repair project. The city and region are dealing with the worst drought conditions in decades. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 2:31, I'm Julia Fellow. Happening right now, the Milwaukee Health Department holding an emergency vaccine clinic after a confirmed case of hepatitis A in our city. The person who has the disease works at Beans and Barley, a restaurant on Milwaukee's east side. The health department says the person took necessary precautions after developing symptoms and is cooperating with health officials to minimize any spread. Hepatitis A is a contagious liver condition. AAA just released its Thanksgiving travel forecast. A record number of people expect to travel more than 50 miles this holiday year. AAA says about 1.6 million Wisconsinites are expected to travel. That's up 2.3% over the past year. And McDonald's is investing $100 million to get customers back after the E. coli outbreak linked to onions on the Quarter Pounder. More than 100 E. coli cases are connected to the outbreak. People in 14 states got sick. One of those is from Wisconsin. One person died. The investments include $65 million that will go directly into the hardest hit franchises. Time for news about your money and the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Okay, we have a mixed bag still. Dow is down 68, S&P 500 down 24, NASDAQ down 125. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Let's take a look at your roads. Their WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. A new thing just popped up. Let's see if I can find it. 4394 north at the ramp from Holt Avenue. The left lane is closed because of a crash at this time. Also raining. Some of it is really hard, so just be aware of that. It's making it difficult with travel. 43 south at 94 west. The left lane is closed because a crash just took place I see that the left lane is currently closed and the sheriff's office is trying to help those affected. Whoa, big backups there. And I think that we have one more incident. That's it. It just cleared up. Here is your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, on and off rain, mild, windy, wind gusts up to 35 miles an hour, low 52. Tomorrow, morning rain, it'll be breezy and mild, a high of 60. Wednesday, slight rain, mixed chance, and it's going to be cooler and breezy, a high of 46 degrees. Thursday, a rain mix, meaning snow. It's going to be breezy, a high of 43. Friday, mostly cloudy, breezy, a high of 44 degrees. In Madison, it's 48 and light rain. Green Bay, 53 and cloudy. And Waukesha, 50 degrees and light rain. Setting unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 2:34.
Hi, I'm Chef Paul Bartolotta of the Bartolotta Restaurants with the perfect gift idea for your holiday season. A Bartolotta gift card. With so many unique restaurants to choose from, Mr. B Steakhouses, Brookfield and Mequon, Joy Gerard's, Ristorante Bartolotta, the Commodore, and more. They select the restaurant, we create the memories. So purchase a gift card at bartolottas.com and get a $20 holiday bonus for every $100 you spend. Happy holidays from all of us at the Bartolotta Restaurants, and thank you, Milwaukee.
Oh, man, it's getting so expensive to dine out, but not at the Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford. WTMJ's John Mercure here. There is free pizza today at the Mineshaft. Every Monday, when you buy one pizza, you get a second pizza free. Buy 2 pizzas, get 2 free. Buy 5, get 5. You buy 100 pizzas, you get 100 pizzas for free. The best Monday dining value anywhere. Business owners and managers, bring in pizza for your loyal employees and clients. Your second pizza is free. Your employees are going to love it. It's great pizza. Coaches, bring in your team for free pizza. Your kids and grandkids can safely play in that huge game room. It's quietly tucked away from the dining area. It's big food. It's big fun. It's the Mineshaft. Order now for your employees and pick up your hot pizza shortly, or dine in the cool and comfortable Mineshaft restaurant in beautiful downtown Hartford or near the EAA in Oshkosh. Mondays are tough enough. Don't cook. Buy one pizza today, get one free. MineshaftRestaurant.com. It's the amazing Mineshaft.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Looking for a fun family activity to get into the holiday spirit? Visit or volunteer for Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive in Grafton on Saturday, December 7th. The event is free and we will have lots of fun activities. Capco is dedicated to bring communities together and has collected over 300,000 toys through Kids to Kids. Join us and WTMJ for a celebration of giving and bring a new unwrapped toy to help children in need this holiday season. Support Kids to Kids. Visit kidstoKidsToyDrive.com.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I'm Kristen Bry.
I'm Brian Noonan, and we've all heard on the campaign trail, President-elect Trump promised to lead the largest deportation effort in U.S. history. Now, shortly after the election, he announced that Tom Homan, former acting director of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or do you call it ICE, is his pick to serve as the administration's border czar. Homan said in an interview that he would prioritize deporting people who threaten public safety or pose risks to national security. But he also said that anyone in the country illegally is, quote, not off the table. If this comes to fruition, how would mass deportations and ending of DACA and other programs affect Wisconsin immigrants? Sophie Carson is a reporter with the Journal Sentinel who writes about, among other things, immigration, and she's in studio with us now. Hi, Sophie. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So, as you talk to experts, immigration officials, attorneys, what is the overarching concern that these people all seem to have in common?
Yeah, the overarching concern is that the mass deportation efforts that President-elect Trump may carry out in the next term will be much broader than his previous administration. The thinking is that, they tried this the first time, and now with this second time, they have a little bit more practice under their belt, a little more knowledge about the legal system, and they might be able to carry it out more effectively, so to say.
So the priority, at least according to the incoming administration, even according to Senator Ron Johnson, is that the focus is going to be on undocumented people who commit crimes, which I think was already the case, right? Like, the Biden administration was also deporting undocumented immigrants who were committing crimes. But as the plan becomes more clear, is there thoughts that this will come in waves, or is it kind of going to be a shotgun approach?
It's a lot of that remains to be seen.
Okay.
You know, a lot of these officials, advisors are saying different things. So while Senator Ron Johnson says, you know, he thinks that a nationwide, dragnet is unrealistic, other people like Stephen Miller or Tom Homan are saying this is possible, no matter who you are, if you're undocumented, you're at risk. So in general, they do say that they're going to prioritize these initial people who have committed crimes, but there's also this concept of workplace raids. There were some of these during the Obama administration and some during the first Trump administration. Experts told me these were fairly detrimental to smaller businesses who might have relied on undocumented workers. But in general, a lot of it remains to be seen how logistically a mass deportation effort would be able to be carried out.
Well, and as you've mentioned, deportations are nothing new. Republican administrations, Democratic administrations, they've all happened. What is it about this proposed plan, other than the scope, that is different from what we've seen before?
Yeah, I think the scope is definitely the biggest thing. The cost of this would be very, very large. According to think tanks and experts who have estimated this, it would be about possibly $315 million.
I thought it was billion.
Billion.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. $315 billion to deport, say, 13 million undocumented people who live in the U.S. right now. So the cost and logistical efforts would be huge. That also includes the workforce needed to do this. The National Guard.
The judges. Because, isn't that part of the reason why we're in this situation as we are right now, is because of the backlog for court cases, because we don't have enough judges, because we don't have enough resources in our immigration system to process people faster. And so technically, anyone who gets rounded up, and they still get due process, right? And so wouldn't this just also backlog our court system?
That's quite possible, yes. The Trump administration, however, is hoping to do something called expedited removal, which would eliminate the need for due process. It would be able to quickly deport someone without a court hearing. They would sign a document, and they would be put on a deportation flight back to their country within, a couple days. But that is likely to face legal challenges. Generally, it's been used very close to the border, like people who cross the border seeking asylum. They've been able to be removed quickly, or people who have been in the U.S. for a short amount of time. But the Trump administration is hoping to expand that to the interior of the country. But a legal expert told me that is likely to face challenges because she believed it didn't really follow the letter of what that rule really was intended for.
What the people you've talked to, what have they said would be the effect here in Wisconsin? Other than, I'm imagining, workforce for the agricultural community is going to take a big hit. But what else would it look like if this plan got carried out here?
Right. There's a lot of interesting predictions and reporting on the effect on different industries. Dairy, of course, is a big one. I would encourage listeners to read my colleague Rick Barrett's story in the Journal Sentinel today. I thought that was a really interesting story about how the dairy industry really needs year-round farm workers. And then also there are, effects on the construction industry. There's a portion of people who are undocumented who work in construction, roofing, that kind of thing. Hospitality, things like that. There's also the sort of personal effect on people who are in mixed status families. These are families who maybe have a citizen of who's a child and an undocumented parent, or one spouse is a citizen, the other is undocumented. This kind of thing. would have a big impact on these families as well, and any workplace really that may be subject to a raid that employs undocumented individuals.
And so what is the thought of what will happen with DACA or Dreamers as far as people who, a lot of these people have it's not just working in the shadows, right? A lot of these people have gone to college and then they have also have white collar jobs. Mm-hmm. Is there a chance that even DACA and Dreamers would be deported?
That's definitely a possibility. DACA is coming to the Supreme Court in the coming year, and the Trump administration wants to end it. So the federal government would not sort of defend it in court, is the thinking. This would affect people who are, like you say, young children who came to the U.S., as young children. Now they're young adults. They are working. If they receive DACA, they are able to work legally, stay here legally without the threat of deportation. And so the thinking is that they should reapply for their 2-year work card now, so that they at least have status through 2025, knowing that it might be unclear after that.
When you speak to these immigration attorneys and other people, I know one you quoted in your piece said they're preparing for the worst. They're hoping that things don't get that bad. Is anybody giving you the idea that maybe we're worried too much? Maybe there's no chance this is going to happen, or the people you talk to thinking something is going to happen at some level, so we have to be ready?
It's a tough question to answer. I think both things are true in these immigration attorneys' minds at the same time, right? They want to be prepared, but they also think that it is logistically quite difficult. I think this is what many people look at these proposals and think, how are they going to do this?
Right.
How is it possible to do this in 4 years? So it's like balancing that fear with also seeing the practicalities of the situation. But I'm working on another story about DACA recipients, and I had one person who told me today, my parents won't really believe it's true until it happens. They've been here, say, 20 years. Like they've been living like in the U.S. with the threat of deportation for 20 years. So that's one perspective, definitely.
And then finally, at least for me, so we have red states, we have blue states, we have Democratic governors and Democratic attorney generals. And so what does this mean as far as states' rights? And so the independence of any given state on what they want to do versus what the federal government is doing. And what have we heard from Attorney General Josh Kaul or Democratic Governor Tony Evers on what they can do and what they will do?
Yeah, that's a good question. In Wisconsin, Josh Kaul has said that, he doesn't think this idea of National Guard from other states coming into Wisconsin would happen. He said that he didn't think that was a very likely thing. But no matter what, whether we have a Democratic governor or not, there is the possibility that deportations happen in Wisconsin. And at what scale, we don't know. But there are ICE officials and CBP, Customs and Border Protection officials, who are able to work in the state of Wisconsin. Generally, that size of that workforce is not huge, so that's something to note. But they are able to, CBP officers are able to board vehicles without warrants and search for people within 100 miles of a border, and that includes the Great Lakes coastline. So that's something to be aware of.
Definitely. Well, you can read more on this story and all of Sophie Carson's work at jsonline.com. Sophie, thanks for coming in, and thanks for, painting another dark possibility for the country. But it's very interesting stuff, so thanks very much for being here.
Thanks so much.
All right, when we come back, there's more. It's Spanning the State.
I remember a guy by the name of Al Stankovich. Oh, yes.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
I have never seen children so well behaved as his children. And I remember saying to him, wow, your kids are well behaved. He looked at me and said, well, we work on it. His son looked at me and says, yep, he works on it. I'll never forget that line from his son, who was maybe 8, 9 years old at the time. But Al and his wife bought It was the first big bedroom set we ever sold. It was the Paramount bedroom set. It was a beautiful bedroom set we had at the time, made in Spencer, Wisconsin. I don't think he knew, and I think we were scared to tell him that it was the biggest sale we ever made at the point in time, but it was an absolute huge sale. I think we were dancing after he walked out the door.
Well, I think we were in the store at 11:30 or midnight, just visiting with them. They're just
nice people,
really nice people, and it was just one of the perfect all-around transactions.
Yes.
Nice people,
good customer, just a good guy. His wife was really nice.
Yep,
I remember that sale.
I delivered that.
See more at pennymustard.com.
Libby Collins here from my friends at Seniors Helping Seniors of Waukesha. They know maintaining independence is one of the greatest concerns for seniors, and that's why for over a decade, they've been serving southeastern Wisconsin, offering personalized in-home care to fit each senior's unique needs. From help with daily tasks like bathing, meal prep, and transportation, to companionship and light housekeeping, caregivers make it possible for seniors to stay in the homes they love without a contract. Interested in becoming a caregiver? Contact Seniors Helping Seniors today. shswaukesha.com.
By now you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semperfi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semperfi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semperfi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semperfi!
A good neighbor would give you a cup of sugar if you asked. At Truestone Financial, we don't have any sugar, but we do have something even sweeter. Open and use a Truestone checking account, and we'll give you up to $350 cash back. It's not exactly what the recipe called for, but $350 can buy you a lot of cookies. It's true, because we're Truestone. Learn more and sign up at truestone.org. Offer subject to terms and conditions. Recipient responsible for applicable taxes. Membership required.
I believe it's time for me to fly.
All right, we got a couple minutes left, but I got so excited and then not disappointed, but less excited. So on someone's Instagram story this morning, there was Beyonce. Yes. It was like a reveal, and she was in some of her like Cowboy Carter country album, Get Up. And I thought it said Netflix, and I thought it was going to release a new a
concert.
Not either a concert or like how Lemonade had an entire visual component, and so I thought it was going to be music videos basically, or some kind of video to go along with the Cowboy Carter album. Turns out it's not that, but it is, because we were talking about this last week as far as what halftime shows are memorable for the NFL beyond the Super Bowl. Well, the Texans-Ravens on Christmas Day is going to be pretty memorable because Beyonce is going to perform at halftime on Netflix.
Okay.
So I don't know how this exactly works as far as, because I'm guessing the Texans-Ravens game isn't exclusively on Netflix. So can whatever channel that is showing that game not show the halftime show that is happening?
I don't know if it is. I have a feeling it might be because they do. The NFL does games exclusively on some streaming services. And so this might be it, which now that makes sense because
so
if you're
on. Now Netflix is airing football games?
On Christmas. Because most, or I was going to say most people, a lot of people are not going to be watching, but some will. And now,
yeah, you're right. The game
Beyonce,
will mark the second of two games that Netflix will stream on Christmas next month, which is terrible because they were terrible at for the fight on Friday.
I was furious
because you stayed up late enough. I didn't even make it. I fell asleep waiting for the fight to start.
Well, I checked in with it early, and it was one of the preliminary fights, and I was like, okay, because I had heard it was going to be like 11 o'clock our time, a little after. So then I jumped around and watched some other things, and about 10:30, I'm like, well, let me get back in. And I was able to sign into Netflix fine. And other things on Netflix came up. but the horrible red circle of buffering just kept spinning on my TV. And then Netflix had the gall to run a network tests on my TV. Like, let's see your network. And their recommended megabytes per second is 15, and my TV was clocking in at like 57. So I was fine.
It was not your internet that was the issue. It was the abundance of people who wanted to stream that at the same time.
So
because
mad.
everyone had that issue.
Yes.
Even if you got in and got through the buffering circle of doom, the quality was not high.
Do you know how frustrating it is to be at 99%? And then 15 minutes later, still be at 99%, then to drop down to 25%. I almost put my head through the TV.
Well, apparently we also didn't miss anything.
No, somebody was streaming it on Twitter, currently known as X. So I got to see the first
From their
round.
TV?
I don't
Just
know.
like
I don't know
doing
how
the
it
world
was
a
going,
favor?
but I watched the first round, and then X shut it down. That was it. So.
All right.
No,
well,
we didn't.
hopefully they'll get their act together for this Beyonce halftime show so we can watch it. I can watch it. I'm very excited.
They better not upset the Beehive, or there's going to be trouble.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, we got to get out of here. Wisconsin's Afternoon News is next. We will be back tomorrow.
See ya.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks, on demand, in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
If you own a company or you're in management, you know how valuable your local employees are. WTMJ's John Mercure here. Show your gratitude